there's a will, there's way, right? So I guess the question, if we can get the will mobilized, if we get people excited, that this makes sense and the outcomes are there, then then the technology and all other stuff is going to be secondary. I'm super excited and I'm super positive that this can be done.
And the timing is also, I don't know how much you can talk about. I know you have a relationship with Microsoft.
Yeah.
And you've had a relationship with Microsoft for many years, and you're one of the, if not the expert in Power BI worldwide. But you see that technology is now giving this capability, the ability to, move faster, more economical, lower threshold in terms of what implementation looks like.
Yeah.
And this is pretty recent over the last...
Well, so it started with the cloud. Not to get too technical, but we went, the cloud has gone through its own evolution, right? And we went through what's called platform as a service to what's now called software as a service, right? So now we're entering the world where before, customer wanted to implement an SAP system, a multi-billion-dollar company would be looking at hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars to implement it. Then they would be spending billions and millions of dollars over years potentially before they can realize a single business benefit. Now we're in a world where I can spin up a capability in architecture that will work for a company with one person or work with a company with 1 million people like Walmart, and that the architecture doesn't have to significantly change. And I'm able to self-finance, right? So I'm able to start small, find opportunity, low-hanging fruit, provide business value, use that success to then fuel and finance the rest of the, additional investment in the technology. So that's what technologies like Power BI, companies like Microsoft are enabling. We'll cut that out, right? So, ability to deploy a piece of technology in days or hours versus traditional, brick and mortar world where it was months and most likely years. Ability to realize business value very quickly. Ability to keep the data secure in your environment and leverage both the cloud benefits and all of the governance and security constraints that put together by your security teams. Like all of these things are now possible. Microsoft is one of the leaders in this space. Again, I just want to be fair. Similar technologies exist with other providers, right? But that's the biggest one of the why now. Why now is because finally it's possible, right? For a license for a handful of people who are going to be administering a system, you're now able to stand up capabilities that process massive amounts of data and enable you to analyze data at a very low level of granularity and be able to kind of match the business outcomes with that employee data, right? And at a very, very low cost of infrastructure cost. So that's something that we have not been able to do, let's say, 5-10 years ago, even 3 years ago with some regard.
Look at that. One of many reasons why now, right? The why now could be because of the pressure to consumerize, because our brains have been being rewired. I was about to say have been there is a process of being rewired.
Yeah.
It's because the technology implementation, technology evolution has made it more, feasible across all aspects. How long it takes, how much it costs, all of these aspects. Because the challenge is business outcomes, that rely on activating and sustaining change, behavior change in organizations, has reached a boiling point. We could talk about that for hours, and all the data, lost productivity, sense of belonging, connection, and how that is translating to every aspect.
Mm-hmm.